Hey everybody, this one is called Do It Yourself Traffic Stop number 4, questions. It's amazing how, the cops, they always stop you. They say, can I see your driver's license, registration, insurance? And when I start asking them questions, all of a sudden they don't care about that stuff anymore. It's amazing how that works. This is probably going to make some good ammo for the communists and the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ADL. But that's okay. They're communists. That's to be expected. Anyways, so I have a set of questions that I ask them, and all of a sudden, they just don't care about that stuff anymore. It's amazing. So let's get started. The word PIG is an acronym, stands for persons in government who intend to perjure their oath. And, while they do operate as peace officers, I haven't seen it happen too many times. Most of the time they're pigs. And, which is a kind of a sad truth nowadays. So copies of these documents can be found in my private group at Yahoo called Administering Your Public Servants. For a complete set of YouTube videos with private information, shares a DVD with over 50 searchable law dictionaries and other books and forums. Contact me privately at engineerwin@yahoo.com. And donations to support this work are appreciated. I prefer gold or silver coin, but as an extremely less desirable alternative, I can accept the IOUs, the fake, the military script, the fake money, the Federal Reserve notes, the PayPal gifts, the checks, the money orders. Send me an email for particulars. This video is just going to be a short one and not as long as many of them. Anyways, so as soon as they stop me, first of all, I always keep my hands on the steering wheel so they don't have some excuse to shoot me because you know how they like to kill people. They're pigs, right? Anyways, I tell them, I don't have a problem producing whatever you need, but I have a couple questions first. And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, sure, no problem. And that's when I say, where's the emergency? And what you have to understand is those blue and red flashing lights the pig used to stop you are emergency lights. And getting revenue is not an emergency. If there was no breach of the peace and no court order, then they're getting revenue. They are getting revenue there. And therefore, there's no emergency. And they just perjured their oath, and you caught them at it. You just pointed it out. All oaths must be lawful, allowed by common law or some statute that they're administered by persons in a private capacity. See, all of these pigs are operating in their private capacity. They're not in their official capacity when they're pigs, okay? Have to understand that. So there's no duty to do anything. They're pigs. They're in their private capacity. You ever been in an Apple store? Okay, I help out a friend of mine that does cell phones, and so I usually, a lot of times I'll go to an Apple store to get a cell phone fixed or get it replaced. And about 80% of the time when I go in there, there's a cop in there. Well, do you think he's getting paid by the city to be in that Apple store? I don't think so. I think Apple is paying him to be in that Apple store. And if that's the case, he's got that police uniform on. He's not in his official capacity. Matter of fact, he's impersonating a police officer while he's in there. Think about it. That's exactly what's happening. And so, he's not there in his official capacity. So you have to understand that all of these pigs, none of them are in their official capacity. They're in their private capacity, okay? When there's no breach of the peace and there's no court order, they're in their private capacity. Now, at the side of the road, getting into a big pissing match over with them is, may or may not be a good idea. You have to decide where you got to choose your battles, okay? But if you lay a proper foundation, they're not even going to want to talk to you. And so anyways, so they're all operating in their private capacity. An officer who acts in violation of the Constitution ceases to represent the government. Okay, so they're not in their official capacity. They're not representing the government. They're in their private capacity. The reason for the initial detention, speeding and running a red light, are not a breach of the peace. Okay, going through a stop sign is not a breach of the peace. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on Steemit at Sovereignty International. Don't forget to like this video. On YouTube, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified when there's a new upload. On Steemit, don't forget to vote and make your comments. Check out my profile on Real.video. There's no subscriptions allowed there. I'm not exactly sure how that's all going to work. I've been approved for a profile, but they haven't contacted me yet. They haven't actually gone live. They have a beta version up, but so they're having trouble getting it all set up and running properly, which, you know, heck, it probably costs them a lot of money, and so I don't have a problem. I'm looking forward to getting something up there. But meanwhile, you know, they're trying to get it up there. So as soon as it's up there, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to move away from Facebook, or I should say from YouTube, because especially once my cryptos come in, then I'm not even going to need any revenue. I'll have you know, more money I know what to do with, probably. I really think I will. And so you know, it's not going to be a big deal, although I am interested in educating people. And so I'll probably have something there as long as there's interest. But I'm going to be moving towards Real.video. Anyways, I've also got a BitChute profile, Sovereignty International. This is my YouTube channel. This is the subscribe button's already clicked. That's why it's not red. Otherwise, it'd be red. And the arrow is pointing at the bell. The bell has not been clicked. And what you do is you click on the bell. A pop-up will come up with a box where you check a box saying you want to be notified of updates, and then you click OK, and that way you're notified. This is Steemit. The left arrow is pointing at the where you do upvotes. The middle arrow is pointing at the number of upvotes, and the right arrow is where you make comments, and all of that is good on Steemit. This is Steemit again. The arrow is pointing at that crypto wallet profile. The mouse is actually touching that. This pop-up comes down, and that's where you can follow or unfollow someone. So the second question you ask them is, was there a breach of the peace? That's about the time they're getting on the radio hollering, sovereign citizen, need backup, help, help, I need help here, wah, wah, wah. And so anyways, but it's a valid question, because was there a breach of the peace? Of course there's not. Speeding and running a red light is not a breach of the peace. Having one of your headlights out is not a breach of the peace. The reason for the initial detention, speeding and running a red light, are not a breach of the peace. My blog information is sovereigntyinternational.wordpress.com. My website is sovereigntyinternational.fyi. My email address is engineerwin@yahoo.com. My YouTube profile, Sovereign Living and Sovereignty International. My Facebook community page, I deleted it. My private group at Facebook called Sovereignty International is being deleted. It takes time to ban 17,000 people off your group. And I'm not going to let Facebook profit from my hard work. My Yahoo private group is called Administering Your Public Servants. My Google private group is called Administering Your Public Servants. Follow me on Twitter at Engineer Win, and my Steemit profile, follow me there, and there's my BitChute profile, and follow me on Real.video. Once I get that set up, I'll have that in here too. So it'll probably be Sovereignty International or something similar like that. So the third question I ask them is, do you have a lawful court order to require this kind of information? And I'm telling you, by the time you're done with these questions, you know, they're not wanting any of it. Quite frankly, they're trying to figure out a way of getting out of this thing without, you know, being exposed for the criminal that they are. And my VidBot.me shut down on the 15th of December, and YouTube channel called Sovereignty International is deleted. I made the exclusive content available on my website. And in fact, YouTube was blocking. It was available on my website, but it was YouTube videos, and YouTube was blocking it. So now it's completely on my website. I have another provider that where I upload the videos, and the links are on my website, and I actually pay for that. But so I'm moving away from YouTube. Okay, YouTube is just nothing but they're crooks. It's Google. You know, don't get me going. Anyways, I have 2 subscription levels, and I accept cryptocurrencies. My basic subscription level is $29.99 a year for the videos only. My For $49.99 a year, you can get videos plus unlimited consultations. Now, the consultations, there's limits on what I can do for that because I'm not a liar. Well, I meant an attorney. No, I meant a liar. But I can tell you what I would do under a certain circumstance and where to find the forms. And people on other previous subscription plans will remain on that plan as long as they renew it. Okay, so there's some older subscription plans that are different, and you can stay on that plan as long as you renew it. Anyways, the unlimited consultations does not include phone calls, does not include babysitting, does not include preparing documents or reviewing documents. The only power that these New World Order Satanists have over us is through fraud and deception, and my agenda is to expose it for all I benefit. But I cannot fight all the battles, and that's why I do this. I want people knowing what the argument is, bringing up the right issues, and so if you want to buy a subscription as just a way of doing a donation, shoot, it's a modest donation. There's no doubt about it, but a whole bunch of people chipping in a little bit, and it adds up pretty fast. I'm currently publishing a video a week, and the bottom two links are links on my website. The first one is to the videos that everybody can see. So if you want to go through and study a certain topic or something like that, like land, for example, then you go to that web page on my website, and all the videos are there listed in different categories. So it gives you a way, because they're kind of hard to find sometimes on YouTube, but that gives you a way that you can it's links to all the YouTube videos. Now, the second link is links to my subscriber videos, and those ones are not on YouTube. I have a third-party provider, and links are on my website, and so that's all controlled through my website. And so, and the subscriptions. So those are up and running now, and it's been running now for about a week and working pretty good. So and I pay for that actually. So those are the subscriptions. That's the second one is to my YouTube, the subscriber YouTube videos that you pay, and some of those videos are listed right here. Some of the exclusive content is bar members, attorneys number 4. Arlington Private Information Share, which is 9 videos by itself, land deed training, estoppel certificates training. I've actually got a couple ones on land deed training, foreclosure estoppel certificates training, corporate denial training, toll roads notice and demand training, invoice training, notice of void judgment training, revocation of signature training, third-party witness training, federal habeas corpus training, revocation of voter registration training. Criminal complaint training, I got a couple videos about that, and there'll probably be more as more issues come up. Lawsuit training, I don't have anything up on that, it will probably be multiple videos. And any other training requests that anybody might have that might be relevant. Now, all forms, files, and other instructions are available for free on my 2 private groups at Yahoo Groups and Google Groups, and the training is above and beyond. The all-exclusive content will be on my website, and you can buy a subscription there. So, question number 4. So, first of all, you've gone down, you've basically asked them, was there a breach of the peace? Do you have a court order? I've actually had some of them say, no breach of the peace, no court order. And they're basically, so then I say, do you have evidence that I'm carrying passengers? See, one case that I think about here, where they said, no breach of the peace, no court order. So I said, so then you're not operating in your official capacity, you're operating in your private capacity under the Federal Tax Lien Act of 1966. Isn't that true? And he didn't answer that one. So then I said, do you have evidence that I'm carrying passengers or property for hire? And so, and of course they don't. Okay. Now, even if you got your truck, like there's been times when I had my truck full of junk, right? Well, do you have evidence that I'm carrying passengers or property for hire? It's just because my truck is full of junk doesn't mean it's mine or belongs to someone else. Anyways, it's a pickup truck. Do you have evidence that I'm carrying passengers or property for hire? And so that puts them in a very difficult position. The term motor vehicle means every description of carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by mechanical power and used for commercial purposes on the highways and the transportation of passengers, passengers and property or cargo. The term used for commercial purposes means a carriage of persons or property for any fare, fee, rate, charge, or other consideration, or directly or indirectly in connection with any business or other undertaking intended for profit. Okay, so that's Title 18, United States Code, Section 31. So again, that's where the carrying passengers or property for hire comes in. Under the international law rule adopted for areas under federal legislative jurisdiction that federalizes state civil law, including common law, the rule serves to federalize not only statutory but the common law of a state. And this is taken from the jurisdiction of the federal areas within the states, report for the Interdepartmental Committee on the Study of Jurisdiction over Federal Areas Within the States, Part 2, a text of the law of legislative jurisdiction submitted to the Attorney General and transmitted to the President June 1957, and this is page 158. And then 165 of the same document says state and federal venue discuss the civil laws effective in an area of exclusive federal jurisdiction are federal law, notwithstanding their derivation from state law. So they're assaulting you under federal law. You could bring this into a federal court. A cause arising under such laws may be brought in or removed to a federal district court. Okay, so this is all the feds. This is Congress. This is the Federal Tax Lien Act of 1966 definition, motor vehicle. This is where they get the presumption, okay? Motor vehicle means a self-propelled vehicle is just registered. As soon as it's registered, they presume that you're under the Federal Tax Lien Act. Okay, that's where it all comes from. Security means any bond, debenture, note. Okay, so the Federal Reserve notes. Okay, negotiable instrument, money. Okay, that's all found in the Federal Tax Lien Act. Check out my other videos, Bankster Thieves playlist, Roman Cult playlist, Bankrupt Corporate So-Called Governments, Bar Members 1 through 3, Do-It-Yourself, How Not to Volunteer for the Selective Service in the Draft, Martial Law is here, Do-It-Yourself, No Income Tax, Do-It-Yourself, Free Mail, Do-It-Yourself, Kangaroo Courts 1 through 15, Canada Border Pigs playlist, Bar Members and their Satanic Connections playlist. Any restraint, however slight, upon another's liberty to come and go as one pleases constitutes an arrest. They'll sit there and say, oh, you're not arrested, you're just being detained. Well, bull. Okay, if I'm not free to go, am I free to go? Okay, so that's when you start coming out, am I free to go? And if he's smart, he'll say, you're free to go. And then you leave. You don't, that's the end of the discussion. Anyways, an illegal arrest is an assault and battery. The person so attempted to restraint of his liberty has the same right to use force in defending himself as he would in repelling any other assault and battery. So you can resist an unlawful arrest with lethal force if necessary. Each person has a right to resist an unlawful arrest. In such a case, the person attempting the arrest stands in the position of a wrongdoer and may be resisted by the use of force as in self-defense. When the plaintiff has shown that he was arrested, imprisoned, or restrained of his liberty by the defendant, the law presumes it to be unlawful. So all you need to do is make the allegation, okay? These Baal priests, Satanist whores in the so-called courts, they go and if you don't use the right words, they'll just ignore it. The burden is upon the defendant to show that the arrest was by authority of law, so it's false arrest. The only thing the plaintiff needs to do is allege the false arrest is either that the defendant made an arrest or imprisonment or that the defendant affirmatively instigated, encouraged, incited, or caused the arrest or imprisonment. In the case of an illegal arrest, the officer must keep within the law at his peril. Any arrest made without proper warrant, signed by a judge, backed up by an affidavit from two persons. That states, under penalty of perjury, you have broken a contract or hurt somebody, if challenged by the defendant, is presumptively invalid. The burden is upon the state to justify it is authorized by statute and does not violate the constitutional provisions. That's a Northwest case in 1969, which was cited in a Mississippi case in 1968. If demanded, he must produce the warrant and read it to the accused, that he may know by what authority and for what cause he is deprived of his liberty. If they don't produce it, you have a right to resist. An accused person, if he demands it, is entitled to have the warrant out for his arrest shown to him at the time of the arrest. Again, if they don't show it to you, you have the right to resist. A special deputy is bound to show his warrant if requested to do so, and if he omits, does not, the party against whom the arrest warrant issues may resist an arrest, and the warrant under such circumstances is no protection against an assault, an action for an assault, battery, and false imprisonment. So again, once you understand the law, these are the things that you can do. It is doubtless the duty of an officer who executes a warrant of arrest to state the nature of substance and cause of the charging process which gives him the authority he professes claims to have to exercise, and if is demanded, to exhibit his warrant, that the party arrested may have no excuse for resistance. So again, you have a right to resist. It was the duty of an officer who attempts to make an arrest to exhibit the warrant if he has one. If he doesn't have one, there isn't one, and you can resist. If two or more persons, this is Title 18, United States Code, Section 241, conspiracy to violate rights under color of law. And remember, if the cop gets on the radio and calls for backup, well, you have a conspiracy. If he's sitting there, he asks you a question and then he goes back and talks on the radio, that's a conspiracy. Whoever's on the other end of the radio is the other party for the conspiracy. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, intimidate, okay, well, they're intimidating you. Their military uniform is designed to be intimidating. Their emergency lights, their colors on the police cars are designed to be intimidating. They're threatening you. They're oppressing you. Any state, territory, commonwealth, position, or district in the free exercise, enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of him having exercised the same. They shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. And violating rights under the color of law, Title 18, Section 242, whoever, under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom, willfully subjects any inhabitant of any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. Now, when you make up a criminal complaint, you have to use their words. That's these Satanist Baal priest whores. You know, they don't want to help you. They don't want to do justice. They're nothing but a bunch of Satanist whores. You know, don't get me going. These, anyways. So you got to use their words. You got to make sure and use their words. You saw what Hillary, that bitch, where they wouldn't let her off the hook. They just redefined her felonies that she was doing as extremely careless. That's what the FBI pigs did. That's what these pigs do. Okay, they're pigs. That's why they're pigs. They're pigs. They're the lowest form of life there is. They're nothing but scumbags. Anyways, now that I've hope you have a nice day. Thanks for watching my video. That's the end of it. And this is a real short one today. And anyways, these are stuff that you can bring up. You got to pick your battles. You don't want to get shot. And so I always put my hands on the steering wheel and stick up for my rights. And it's amazing how many times, you know, they just they don't want to talk to you. One time when I was in Huntsville, the pig went and wanted my driver's license so that he could see if there was warrants. And I told him that when a judge is dealing with a statute, that he's not a judge, he's a bought and paid for clerk masquerading as a judge. And bought and paid for clerks masquerading as a judge can issue warrants. And if he arrests someone based on one of these fraudulent fictitious warrants, then he'll be guilty of assault, kidnapping, and false imprisonment. He came back right now and he said, yeah, but as long as I do it in good faith, I'm covered. And I said, yeah, but now that I told you it's not good faith, is it? And he shut up and he didn't want it anymore. And I was on my way. It's amazing how that works. Anyways, stand up for your rights, okay? Do it in a peaceful manner, and we need to straighten these pigs out. Anyways, have a great day. Thanks for watching.